Sequencing is basically a function that makes your work easier in terms of, instead of entering the numbers by yourself using with a different incrementals, sequencing will be a helpful tool for you to work with. A little explanation of this is, if you look at the row number, this basically gives you it's a pre-selected number that you have to select, and it will help you determine up to how many rows do you want this sequence to go. For the columns, you can always select one column or multiple columns, and what it does is it divides that the number of row numbers that you wanted in among these columns. And then the start number is the default, is always 1, but you can select what number do you want this sequence to begin with. And the steps, it's the incremental. You can go by 2, 3, or 4, and so forth. So let's say we have a 5, so this is the number of rows that we want to go, and I will show you different ways to really see what I'm talking about here. So the first one, let's say sequence, and then we just pick the number of rows that we want it to go. That's it. And then it will use put everything else by default. And if you see, is up to 5 rows, and by the default is always 1, so that's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's go here and say equal to sequence, and then we select 5, and then the column, let's just say 1. We want it to be in 1 column, and then I will give it for the numbers to begin at 2. And let us see how this goes. So you see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here what we do see is that the number begins at 2. The default incremental is 1 here, and that is why you will see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I will show you how, if you use multiple columns, that it actually goes beyond that. So sequence, the row number, the number of sequence that we want to get is 5. The column, I will choose 2 here, and then let's say the start is 2, and then let's ignore the steps, which is what incremental we want. And here you will see 5 on each column, so the numbers could go up to 11. So you see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Otherwise it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So now let us use all these formulas together, and we say equal to sequence bracket. We want the row numbers to be 5, and then the column, I'm just gonna select 1, so we just want one straight number. The start, let's say we want this sequence to begin at 3, and also the steps, I will say an incremental of 3. So you see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So this is how you can do sequencing, and it actually makes your work easier. The biggest part of using functions is always to basically reduce the manual work and give you the ability to work with functions that way. If you have questions, feel free to ask, and have a great day.